Floyd Mayweather is currently facing felony charges for passing a bad check. Um,
Oh my god.
yes. So right
Come
now he
on,
faces
Floyd.
two felony charges in Vegas over allegations that he wrote a bad check to purchase a watch from a luxury retail store. So the charges was they actually came down in April, but he was just supposed to be in court Monday, but his attorney went for him. So the charge he's being currently charged with theft for value over $100,000 or greater, and draw or pass a check with intent to defraud for value over $1,200 or greater. So what happened is back in December of 2024, there's a receipt that ESPN and prosecutors have obtained where Floyd went into a resale boutique and tried to purchase an AP. Now, when he purchased the AP, he used a check to purchase this. Now, the store owner, place called Gold and Beyond, is saying that he had a long-term business relationship with Floyd before the alleged transaction. So when the check and everything was happening, like when the money didn't come through, he gave Floyd some time, almost about a year, to try and make good for this, and it didn't happen. So now the Clark County prosecutors have filed an initial complaint that happened back in April, and 3 days later, they ordered Mayweather to appear in court in front of a judge. So that appearance happened, but again, he wasn't there; his attorney was there. So
All right. Shalom. Kal halalim la Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Kodash. Okay, I just played a little snippet of the news regarding Floyd Mayweather, right? Uh, yeah, just a little snippet, a little sort of summarized version, okay? And letting you know that these are, letting you know what's going on with Floyd Mayweather. All right. First and foremost, all praises, honor, glory, blessings, and power be to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone that rule well. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, the apostles on down. And shalom to the prophets of that body, and shalom to the 144,001 third. May peace and blessings and the spirit of endurance be upon you and your households as we approach the end. Keep that sideline note. Keep that endurance going, Jacob. I understand. I know how you feel. You hope for elect. Sometimes you feel like your brain's going to explode, like you're going to go crazy. As we say in the UK, you're going to go doolally. You're going to go nuts. All right? But you got to calm down. Take a praise Yahweh Hashem Yashai. Okay? And take a deep breath and know why you're in why you've been called in this truth, in the spirit power of Yahweh Hashem Yashai. And that's it's a beautiful thing that you are involved in. All right, not a thing. This is a beautiful. How can I say? I don't want to call it a beautiful thing you're involved in. This is a beautiful opportunity. All right, to be part of that number, if you are chosen to be part of the elect, whether it's a greater multitude or the ruling 144. But only the Lord knows. We have a spiritual confidence that we could be part of the elect. All right. And there's a lot of benefits to being part of the elect. When I said, I don't want to be bigging myself up. I don't want to be, Lord, I'm not bigging I'm not trying to be, what's the word? I'm not trying to be big myself up or like I'm saying I'm somebody special. When I said to be part of that elect, I looked up at my wall facing the east, and there was like an orb that just lit up and just went away. Brakti Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai Ba'ashem Rakak Kodash. Hey man, the angels are around us and the Lord is opening up our pineal gland. We can see into different dimensions now. Not clearly, but we can see it vaguely. You know what I mean? Just like that Predator, like in the movie Predator, right? I've said this 2-3 times in different videos, where you see, like when the Predator is cloaked and you can see it moving around in the jungle when you watch the movie. That's how sometimes angels are moving around you. You can see them, all right. And sometimes there's a blue light to it. Sometimes there's a blue light that shines on like a blue orb, beautiful royal blue, beautiful blue color, man, straight up. That was a sideline note. Okay, now let's get back to Floyd Mayweather, the bread and circuses. Okay, now there's a lot of news coming out on the side. Okay, and I've got two angles to this. All right, now one of the elders, I believe is an elder from Great Millstone, made a video yesterday. So this is lamb backing of the elder. Obviously, I'm not on the level of the elder to make really exceptional videos, but I'm gonna try, Lord willing, my level best, and just touch on this, right? Because I did see the news yesterday. Then the elder made a video. Then I thought, okay, you know what? That's a great topic for uh, this Shalom Babakar. It's early hours. Well, it's not early hours now. It's 8:43 in the morning. But to make a video. But nevertheless, okay, I've got two angles to this, right? Number one, the curses are coming upon Floyd Mayweather, all right, meaning that obviously he's an Israelite, okay. He's got that spirit. He's a Jake, of course, but the Lord blessed him with a talent, all right, and to really take that talent to a further level, he had to sell out on the left hand side, okay? Because on the right hand side, in a righteous world, which our kingdom is, will or sacrifices are done in a righteous element. Like for example, it could be lambs, goats, as mentioned in the scriptures, right? But on the left hand side, because we're in this satanic realm, right? These sellout jakes, do what they do on the left hand side, and they sacrifice actual, real live human beings. Okay, they sacrifice family members. They sacrifice their body. You know. Okay, they looked. I mean, there was probably a time when he looked in the mirror, right? Uh, you know, See if he can grow a beard or not. Seeing if any facial hairs coming on his face when he's a teenager. He never thought that he'd be a pillow biter. Okay, now he might not be. Maybe he's done other things, but we know, right, that a lot of these, because sex is between a man and a woman, all right, in the confines of your bedroom, in righteousness, you can do what you want with your woman, all right, and your woman can deal with you. Passion, sex, that's between a man and a woman, right? All right, uh, between a couple, okay, but these people, right? Sometimes, and on the left hand side, they have to do everything against the Bible. So they drink urine, eat poop, be pillow biters, do go to them Epstein type parties, Diddy parties and shit. They've got to do a lot, and that's why there's a lot of them that really sort of throw themselves in spending money so they could forget about what they did. They might do some homo mo ritual, and they'll probably come home, shower up, and say, you know what, I'm gonna call three bad bitches up, and have I don't know what you call three. Was it foursome? Three bitches and a man? Foursome? I don't know. Whatever you call that, right? You probably think, let me drown myself into some lovely pussy, to sort of get this tainted faggotry off me or whatever, however you want to. Well, that's what these guys do. That's what they do, right? He wants to get that faggotry off him, and then he does what he needs to do to make him feel better, right? That's why a lot of these rappers, athletes, they get tattoos done because they've been treated like a woman, okay? And you know what I mean by treated like a woman, right? And then they like R. Kelly. R. Kelly, was while he was doing his rituals, he was training to be a boxer, and I believe Fat Joe touched on it. He was doing underground fights to prove his masculinity or whatever, because he knows what he has to do on the left hand side, and to prove himself that I'm a man, I'm a man, I'm a man. They get tatted up. Yeah, I'm gonna look G'd up. I'm gonna be tatted up, right? Right? I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna whoop man. Right? And to make themselves feel better, and then they also drown themselves in drugs. I mean, a perfect example is what's that dancer? What's that guy's name? Chris. What's his name again? I forgot his name, man. What's that? The one who dances a lot, man. What's his name? R&B guy. Fuck, man, I forgot his name. Uh, Let me just Google him, man. Oh yeah, the one who sung "Excuse Me." Who sung the R&B song "Excuse Me, Miss" about 20 years ago? Chris Brown. Yeah, Chris Brown. Chris Brown. Right? Chris Brown. Okay. High all the time, going crazy, snapping. For Jim Jones, high all the time. Okay, snapping. Different athletes, different characters deal with these things differently. All right. Now Floyd Mayweather, I don't know whether he's tattooed or not. I'm a man. I'm not gonna really, I ain't really looked at his physique like that. Okay, but he spends a lot of money, and there's two angles to it. This is probably just bread and circuses. So Jake, you know how Jake is in it. As soon as there's something involving like a prominent boxer, fighter, rapper, singer, R&B star, rock and roll star, everybody gravitates to it. So because they know that the powers that be know that these niggas are going to be focusing on this. So therefore, we don't need to. Uh, these niggas are going to be focusing on this, so we can do what we want behind the curtains, to take more of your freedoms away, to make more moves behind the curtains. All right. So Jacob can be caught off guard when all hell breaks loose. That's one angle. All right, because we know the power moves that the elites are making behind closed doors or whatever. Right, because ultimately they want to get their new world order off the ground. All right. Okay. Then the other angle is the fact that, you know, these Jakes that have sold out on the left hand side, right? And for what? For naught. Okay. In the end, you're going to die a horrible death in America. Okay. Right. You're not going to make it into the chariot. Right. And what did you live your life for? For some dollars and some cents and a few fake praises and some camera snaps. And for what? You know? Going to those demonic mask parties, doing demonic rituals, having Satan fuck with you, you being treated like a woman for what? For fiat currency? You sold yourselves for naught. And the curses are the curses are slowly but surely coming off our people. But some of our people that have had it really nice for past 15, 20 years or longer or whatever, right? Especially during the heyday of the 80s, 90s, your Eddie Murphys, your Martin Lawrences, they had a great time. Look at the motherfuckers. They had a great time. Eddie Murphy's got a house where he's got a convertible house. He can open up the roof on a sunny day. This is how Jake is living. And they're going to die horrible deaths. You know what they promote. Okay? Okay? You know what they promote. I can go on and on and on about the movies you watch. They always promote faggotry. They always promote adultery, homosexuality. You know? Right? They're always promoting left-hand side thoughts. All the songs are vibrations around, adultery. Okay? Floyd Mayweather. Okay? Just being like a child in a candy store, throwing his money away frivolously. I'm not saying that you can't have nice cars and jewelry and shit, but why do you just throw it away like that? How many fucking AP watches do you need? You got like 20, you got 20 or 30 of them, haven't you? If you want to get a new watch, why don't you just trade your old watch, two watches, and get a new one? All right? But nevertheless, this is speculation at the moment, but yeah, and that's why a lot of you Israelites that are sold out are gonna come to the same crossroads. Some of you are selling out right now to keep your fame and money coming in. All right, you're loosening your booty holes. You are Salakia for saying that term, but but it's real. That's what these motherfuckers do, right? You're selling out your children. Every rapper, prominent rapper, star, even Sade, man. I was watching an interview of Sade the other day. She was young and beautiful from about 30, 35 years ago. Michael Parkinson, I believe, was it Michael Parkinson? Yeah, I think he was interviewing her. One of some British host, right? And Sade, 30 years forward, she's got a son who's a mo, who's like one of them flip flops, trans, whatever. Ghostface Killer, prominent basketball players. They're all in on it. They're all sold out, man. How the fuck can you sell yourself out, sell your family out, man? Oh, I want to have a great life. I want to be a multimillionaire. Yeah, you have a son. He's handsome. He's a beautiful child. Grows up to be a handsome man, right? You're thinking about grandchildren and, your son having a beautiful wife and having a beautiful family. And lo and behold, you're told in his teenage years, yeah, you got to start giving some medication. You got to start putting in his mind that he's a girl. They probably do, they probably bring him to some kind of, I don't know what you call it, a seance or some kind of demonic ritual, right? Where they put demons on him to make him think he's a girl and want to be a girl. All right. This shit like this goes on and they have to sacrifice. That's a sacrifice they have to do. Okay. I don't know about Floyd Mayweather's children. I don't know about his grandchildren. As far as I know, they seem okay and so-called normal. But I guess he's been putting himself forward. All right. The Lord only knows what Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay went through, man. Okay. They made it look like he was having a ball, but we don't know what was going on behind closed doors. Right. Okay. This is what a lot of these people have to do, bruv. All right. But let's just read it. Slakia for going on with a long intro, and I haven't read any scriptures yet, but I'm going to get to them. Slakia for that. But my mind wanders all different places, man. Like I said, I'm not the best video maker, so I apologize for that. Floyd Mayweather is facing 2 criminal felony charges in Las Vegas for allegedly writing a bounce check to buy a luxury watch. That's what's all bread and circuses, bruv. You can't even take out cash like that. When you sell out, these powers that be usually give you a black card. They can say you could spend how much you want, but you can't take out large amounts of cash to help out your neighborhood, your hood, your peoples. You can't go make some kind of compound or I don't know what you call it, compound, or some kind of area like some kind of reserve for when hell breaks loose, or you can't make no bunkers. You can't, I don't know, something, basically you can't help out your people. Just like Oprah Winfrey, she's a billionaire, right? She couldn't give no money to Jacob in Chicago and in the hoods, but yet she could make buildings and help out Hamites and shit, in Africa, right? That's an example. They're told not to do that, okay? All right, all this money these people have, it's all bread and circuses, and I believe you can't even take out that much cash like that, right? They're not allowed to hold that much cash. They could probably have several thousand or whatever, but they can't go around with $300,000-$400,000 cash. And that's all the pretend money anyway. That's not real. That's all showboating. Okay? It's all bread and circus. It's all pizzazz. It's all illusion. Okay? Just like Rick Ross. All right? Showing his jet. Money, I'm making money. I'm a hustler. Money, cheeseburgers and money. You know how he is. How he fucking talks. That fat fucking, tub of lard, man. Right? That's how he talks, right? But what was he doing? He was catching an economy flight, a regular flight with your regular Joes with his hood on. If you're not ashamed of catching an economy flight, you can say, man, you know what? I want to save $50,000 or whatever. I want to take an economy flight, and just be proud. Just be bold. Say, I'm taking an economy flight. It's Rick Ross here. Yeah. Shit, get yourself some kind of deal with the airline. You're pushing their brand forward. I don't know, right? But yeah, he's hiding. It's all illusion. Okay, these rappers, these athletes, they get money, but not to the not to the amount that they show. You understand? They get money, but not to the amount they show. They'll probably get millions, but not hundreds of millions. This is me speculating. All right, that's why a lot of these rappers. Okay, because people assume they got money, they wear fake watches, fake jewelry, because they're going to assume it's real. A millionaire can wear a fake Louis Vuitton, fake Rolex, and they're going to say, "Oh, that guy's a millionaire. That shit's real." Yeah. But that's the world that we live in, full of illusions. All right. The allegation, according to Clark County prosecutors, Mayweather wrote a $200,000 check from Wells Fargo account in December 2024, okay, to purchase a high-end watch. All right. Okay, the boxing star is charged with felony theft value of 100 grand, greater, and drawing or passing a check with intent to defraud, value of $1,200 or greater. Potential penalties. If convicted, the felony theft charge carries a potential prison sentence of 1 to 20 years. Yeah, but yet Edomites that stab up people in schools, so-called white people, get let go or get put on probation or get a couple of years. They've actually deleted a human being. All right. Not that we're letting Floyd Mayweather off. Let him get his fucking medicine, man. Okay, you know what you've done. Potential penalties. If convicted, the felony theft charge carries a potential prison sentence for 1 to 20 years, while the fraud charge carries 1 to 4 years. The victim's stance. Mark Cook, the attorney representing the luxury boutique Gold and Beyond, stated that they waited over a year to file a complaint because they trusted Mayweather. Okay, so the trust has gone out the window too. They gave him ample time. They waited over a year. Right? I'm surprised they didn't come after him 3 months after. Right? They waited over a year because he's probably like a regular purchaser. They know he's Floyd Mayweather. He's a millionaire, the money team and all that shit. Right? And you wearing a so-called Sheila David hats and growing a beard, okay, knowing that you're a Jake, but didn't you go back on that? All right, you weren't pushing it no more, right? Okay, you know he knows. You see, Floyd knows he's an Israelite. He knows he's an Israelite. Okay, he knows. All right. So they waited over a year. So that trust, that pomp, that clean face has now got a blemish on it. All right. He's not going to come back from it. It's only going to get worse and worse and worse before you sell out famous Jakes. We don't care about the heathen, the so-called white people, the Edomites, the heathen nations. We don't give a shit about them. Fuck them. All right, let them be in their sty and just roll around in the mud like a pig. We don't give a shit. Fuck them and their pain. All right, but you 2/3 Jakes, fuck you too. All right, all right. Time for your demise, man. Okay. They waited over a year to file a complaint because they trusted Mayweather and gave him multiple opportunities to pay, but eventually stopped receiving responses. He thought, fuck it, it's only been a year. They're not going to do nothing. I've given them so many hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've bought so many of their watches and chains and earrings and rings and bracelets. You know, I've pushed their brand forward. Other Israelites, other so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian famous people are buying jewelry from there, right? He's probably thought that in his mind. Oh, I'm Floyd Mayweather. It's the money team, man. It's the money team, baby. It's Mayweather, baby. You know? The defense, Mayweather's attorney, David Lobo, has publicly denied that Mayweather intended to defraud anyone. The defense argues that Mayweather and the store owner have a long-standing successful business history and that the dispute belongs in civil court rather than criminal court. Court schedule. Mayweather was represented by an attorney and did not physically attend his initial court appearance in Las Vegas Justice Court. His next formal hearing is scheduled for 17th of September 2026. Who knows if the courts are going to be open at that time? Hell could break loose, Lord willing. All right. Travel status. Mayweather currently has no travel restrictions. He is cleared to fly out for his upcoming exhibition match against Mike Zambidis on the 27th of June 2026 in Athens, Greece. Yeah. Wider financial struggles. These criminal charges surface alongside several other mounting civil, legal, and financial battles for the retired boxer. Right? Tax liens. The Internal Revenue, IRS, currently holds 7.2 million lien against Mayweather for unpaid taxes dating back to 2018 and 2023. Fuck. Damn. Unpaid rent. That's it. What? He was hit with a civil lawsuit earlier this year for allegedly owing over it had to be 33 in it, 330K in unpaid rent and damages for a luxury apartment at the Baja Hotel in Manhattan. Right? So. Okay. Now he's probably looking in the mirror every morning. Okay. He's losing his power money wise. He's losing his pomp, his fame, his respect. Right? You know how Jake is about respect, right? Now you're known as a thief, someone who can't pay your rent, you know, someone who's the IRS is after. Okay. You think people are going to believe that, the money team, people ain't going to believe you no more, Floyd. All right. Okay. It's the start of the ending of Esau Edom and you 2/3, man. All right. Yeah, jewelry disputes. He faces ongoing financial disputes and lawsuits with multiple high-end jewelers across at least 4 states. All right. You Jakes, being an Israelite foreigner from northern India, the Indian gold and all that, you Jakes should go to Indian jewelry shops. You'll get a better deal as far as I know. But, because they move more jewelry, so they'll give you a better price. The Edomites and heathens, man, they don't move a lot of jewelry. They only move a lot of jewelry with our people, with Jake in it. But give that a try. What the hell am I talking? Salakia, man. If anybody that's looking for jewelry, go to Indian jewelry shop. All right. Yeah, man. It's just a downfall of Jake, man. All right. Let's go to some scriptures now. Salakia for the long intro, and I guess it was what you call, as Elder Kazaki Allah, one of my favorite teachers, would say, a righteous rant. Lord willing, it was a righteous rant. Go to some scriptures now. But that's the thing, man. Someone's got to be the 2/3, right? Okay. Let's go to Mark 8:36. Okay. 36. 3 sixes. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? All right. Gain the world, gain access to luxury apartments, money. Okay. Like a child in a candy store, you know, having too much candy, not brushing your teeth, not taking care of your health. What's going to happen? Your teeth are going to rot. You're going to get ill, aren't you? And his teeth are rotting now. He's going to get ill. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? He's lost his own soul. That's why a lot of these famous rappers, because we're Israelites and they're Jake as well, but they've sold out on the left-hand side. That's why they can't handle it as well as the Edomite, because the Edomite is demonic anyway. So-called white people and the heathens, they're demonic anyway. Jake is, pursuing to going to Romans 10 and 2, they have like the element of godliness, right? But not according to knowledge. So they might sell their soul, but they don't know what to do. So they might go to church afterwards and cry like Tyrese. They know what they did is wrong. Okay. They can't look in the mirror. They can't call themselves a man. Yeah. When they were lying down, oh man, it's disgusting. I don't want to keep talking about it, but you can't call yourself a man when you've been treated like a woman. And you know what I mean by you've been treated like a woman by other men. These Edomites and shit. All right. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Verse 37. Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Okay. All right. What are you going to give in exchange for your soul? All right. You sold your soul. You sold your body. All right. And now it's time to pay. Okay. Just getting some scriptures. Damn it. It was 2 Corinthians 5 and 10, I think. Corinthians 5 and 10, KJV. Lord willing, this is the one. Okay, 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Hamashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body, according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. Okay? All right, whether it be good or bad. And people, Jakes that have sold out, like Mayweather, is nothing but bad. So when you do bad things, bad things happen. All right? All right? All right, when you do bad things, what do you think the outcome's going to be? Okay? And especially when you sold out, you've given up your spirituality, you've given up doing the so-called right thing. Okay? How do you turn your back on Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, man? That's crazy, man. Just for this, the trinkets of this world? Even Yahweh Shai was I believe, tempted by Satan, I'll give you this, that, and the third. The Lord, said, no, I don't want it. I'm loosely paraphrasing scripture. The Lord didn't go for that. That should be a perfect example, a template in your mind that our Lord, our King didn't do it. I sure as hell ain't going to do it. But then again, some of our people are the 2/3. All right. You guys sold yourself for naught, man, for nothing. You had your fun in the sun, just like Esau, Edom. Now it's time for you to go down. All right. The curses were already upon us, but now the curses are coming upon the heathen. Going to Deuteronomy 30, verse 7. Right? Yeah. But it's also going to touch you 2/3 as well. All right. And you're going to die horrible deaths, man, depending on whatever Yahweh Hashem Yahshua has aligned for you. Let me get one more. Let me go to Zechariah, man. I don't know whether you can hear that in the background. Some dumbass has got like that trap music going early in the morning. It's like 9:08 a.m. Jake Foreigners, man. And Jake as well. Anyway, Zechariah 13:8, 13:9. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. The 2 parts are what? Who? Floyd can go to a luxury apartment or some kind of hideout in Greece, Australia, the UK, I don't know, wherever. The Lord's still going to get him, man. All right? The Lord's still going to get you 2/3 wherever you go, even if you leave America. You unelect are going to get got. But if you stay in America, there's a multitude of ways the Lord's going to get you, man. Starvation, You could be like Snoop Dogg, smoking blunt after blunt after blunt after blunt, right? Food runs out, and even though you haven't smoked, let's just say you haven't smoked you've been smoking blunts, you've eaten, then you wake up again, you're hungry, and there's a food famine or whatever, all right, or famine starts, and the Lord puts a spirit on Snoop Dogg, on Jake's like that, puts heavy munchies on them, but there's no water and food. Hey, the Lord could do things like that too, all right. The Lord could have you eaten by dogs, animals, graped and eaten, okay, and then nuked or tortured, or prior to being nuked. You could be tortured in these concentration camps. Then the nukes hit. Listen, it's not going to be. Hey, you 2/3 are effed. All right. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yashai, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. Verse 9, I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. Acceptable men in the furnace of adversity, right? Jake is being tried. Hence the reason why you hopeful elect faith is being built. They shall call on my name. Okay, the elect shall praise his holy name. Loosely paraphrasing the scripture there, right? The name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai is my power. Okay? All right? Even if you sell out, and you sell your backside or whatever it is, even if you're a millionaire, multimillionaire, billionaire, Oprah answers to the elites. To her handlers. Okay? Even if you've got all that money and power in the world, what happens to people like Oprah and other Israelites out there? They get disrespected in these high-end stores. They get called the N-word, whether it's the real deal or not. I'm sure it happens for them in real life. You're still not respected. Because in this world of Esau, Edom, I don't care, you're just a rich N-word to these heathens, man. All right? And you're going to get got. Okay? You sold yourself for naught. Let me see if there's another scripture I want to get from the book of Deuteronomy. One more scripture. We're pushing 34 minutes as well. You're going to be... let's go to Deuteronomy 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed. And we've seen that, okay, in our historical past and even up until this day. All right. And these curses are still coming on you, Floyd. Okay, you had a little bit more money than the average Jake to wash away those problems. Okay. but it's drowning you now, is it not? Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai thy power. You're wearing a so-called Shield of David hat for a little while. I don't know whether you got the beard or not right now, okay? But you had the beard, all right? Which is a beautiful thing, but you didn't take heed, all right? You didn't come into the truth. You didn't reach out to our elders to learn, you didn't walk away from this, okay? All right? You still could have had your earn your, you still could have, if you wanted to, but it wasn't your lot, okay? Your lot was always to be a 2/3, and that's your, that's a horrible heritage, okay? All right? But the thing is, even if you're a 2/3 or unelect Jake, you're going to be all right in the kingdom because you're still an Israelite. That's the beauty. Okay, that's the one thing that you sellout Jakes have, is that you are Israelites. So you're going to be good money in the kingdom. All right? Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai thy power. Okay? And the Lord is calling you. Hence the reason why you were, you knew you were touching on the Israelite knowledge for a bit, but then you didn't touch on it no more. All right? But you didn't hearken to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. All right? And even, like I said, you're a millionaire, you're a billionaire, you're still going to go for the one of all things to these heathens. All right? Everything you have to go through them. All right? You can't even say, let's just say you got $20 million or 20 million pounds saved. You can't say, oh yeah, I want to give 10 million pounds and I'm going to make a huge compound in Ghana, for all the Israelites that are from America to go there on holiday. So it's a hotel for them. Not that you got to do that. I'm just saying you won't be able to do that because they won't allow you to. All right? You can't do it. You're not free. Okay? They might give you the illusion of being free because they're giving you a few quid, but you are not free. Okay? Because for the one of all things, you're still going to go to this devil. All right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 28, verse 48. All right? Let's go to 47. Because thou servest not the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Okay, Floyd's yoke of iron right now is what? Okay, Esau got a rope. Was it a rope? No, Esau got a leash on Floyd. Okay. All right. They got a leash on you. They might have taken that yoke off, but they got a different kind of yoke. They got that leash on you. You can't do certain things. All right. So it's a start of your ending, man. All right. And it's only going to get worse. And wait till the rest of you 2/3 start falling. And I'm surprised a lot of you sellout Jakes that know that you're Israelites, you're still in America. Eddie Murphys, Martin Lawrence's. The Edomites have moved out, man. They live in Greece, France, south of France, Spain and shit. Okay? You Jakes are bold. Oh, we're Israelites. We're still good. Oh, I've sold my ass. I can still live in this world. I'm an Israelite, so therefore in the next world to come, I'm still good. No, it's not going to be like that. You're going to be good after you die. Death by pain. All right? All right, I'm going to leave it there now. Okay? So it's going to get worse. All you sellout Jakes are going to get got slowly but surely. But Lord's going to, as time is shortened now, Revelation 12 verse 12, the devil hath but a short time, and the Lord is speeding up the time for the elect's sake, loosely paraphrasing in scripture. These things are going to come thick and fast on all you 2/3, man, and unelect Jakes. Okay? And the heathen, you Edomites and you non-Israelite nations, F you and your pain, you're going to go down. All praises, honor, glory, and blessings and power be to Yahweh B'Hashem Yashai, B'Hashem Rakak Kodash, Mawatha Bad Babal, Kwam Yashrala, Shalom.